Police in Sioux Falls say a young girl crashed into a concrete barrier on 10th Street. This blue banner here represents water. 10th and Phillips is still closed this evening. You can even see an orange gate here is blocking people from getting any closer. People can simply walk through these doors here and come in from right off the street. What they do in Las Vegas is they have a one-stop shop. Sunday services were held at the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs 1 week after a gunman killed 25 people and an unborn child. We are tracking the snow too, very scientific with our ruler. I cannot believe it's November. Earlier today we had hot air balloons flying in Sioux Falls. I even saw a woman running in a tank top and shorts, if you can believe it. So many people are expected to come out and enjoy these concerts, and officials with the city of Sioux Falls do have some tips so that people can have this go as smoothly as possible. First, they say to get here early. Doors open for the concert an hour and a half before it starts, and they recommend getting here in time for that. Also, if you don't want to drive, there are free shuttles available from the WH Lyon Fairgrounds.
It seems that every person in Las Vegas has a story about that night, and that includes two former South Dakotans. KSFY News reporter Kelley Smith traveled to Las Vegas to meet them and learn how they and the city are moving forward. It's a story you'll only see on KSFY.
Flames dance in the night as the glow of candles lights up a memorial for the 58 lives lost.
The memorial that's down there by the Welcome to Las Vegas sign is a really powerful tribute.
A small memorial has also been set up outside the Mandalay Bay Hotel.
It will definitely be something that I obviously won't ever forget.
It's an area of the City of Lights that still sits in darkness. The concert venue is guarded by caution tape. Officers stand watch outside.
We all remember that moment. Where were you when JFK? Where were you in 9/11? This isn't a moment that we want to celebrate, but you will remember this because it will be with you forever.
Mitzi Durham is originally from Lake Preston, South Dakota. She teaches high school in Las Vegas.
Vegas is a city, obviously much bigger than where I grew up in Lake Preston, but it is a small town, and there are just so many connections that people had to that concert.
One of her connections, a student who was at the concert. He worked to evacuate the victims.
He did compressions on a guy, and he just kept saying, I couldn't save him, I couldn't save him. But I said, you know what, I could be happy in the fact that he didn't die alone and someone was with him.
It's a tragedy, and it's something that you're not going to forget about. Everyone remembers where they were on 9/11. If you're from Las Vegas, you live here, you work here, you're going to remember where you were then.
Carl Collison moved to Vegas from Yankton. He's a musician and was performing on the Strip during the shooting.
People were starting to filter through, and you could tell they were visibly upset. All of the first responders, they all had their lights on. I'm listening to the radio at that time, you're getting more and more information. It's pretty surreal.
He says from the fountains at the Bellagio to the lights of the Eiffel Tower, the following days, the Strip didn't have its same shine. The Strip is known to be bustling with people, but Collison says in the days after the shooting, all these people weren't here.
I did notice it was dead on the street. Like, just usually there's people all over walking around, getting across the street in certain, key intersections, and there just wasn't a whole lot of that.
I remember 9/11 and the Oklahoma bombing, but this hit us in our gut.
Assemblyman John Hambrick says, that being said, the city is moving forward.
We've started the recovery process and the mourning process, and no one really knows how long the mourning process will last. Vegas
is an entertainment capital. And Hambrick says the show must go on.
They had a meeting of the Resort Association here in town, and they are working overtime to make sure we still get the visitors. There have been no cancellations in our trade shows or our conventions. Not one has canceled.
The phrase Vegas Strong is posted along several areas of the Strip. These South Dakota natives show just how strong that spirit really is.
It has brought the community together. There's been a lot of camaraderie, I think, within Las Vegas, the city.
I just keep reminding the kids there's more good than bad, and that's the only way to get through these things.
Even though Las Vegas is known for the Strip, the community here says this iconic area is really just their backyard, and that they are coming together to get through this tragedy. The days are starting to get cold, and the bright lights on Main Street mean people are getting ready for the holidays.
I was really shocked.
But just a block away, caution tape puts a damper on any festive display.
Don't make sense.
The home where Luis Livanos lived is still surrounded by that tape. The front door sits wide open, the windows blackened, and the entire backside of the house charred. Nearly 2 weeks ago, the fire that caused this damage woke up the entire neighborhood in the middle of the night.
Came outside and I saw flames shooting out the back of the house like 30, 40 feet long. I've never seen nothing like this before.
Gerald Hogendorn has lived in Rock Valley for 34 years and tells me the community is reeling.
The word got out on Facebook, and everybody was quite shocked.
According to police, 19-year-old Santos Rodriguez fled the state after the fire. Iowa DCI agents interviewed him in Utah. During that process, he admitted to stabbing his grandfather and setting fire to the house.
They were just renting it. I think that's awful bad, to set somebody else's house on fire and then kill the man.
And since the town is so small,
It's a really, usually a pretty safe community.
many people are saddened as they try to wrap their heads around what happened.
It's a small community, so whenever anything happens within the community like this, it's shocking to us, and everybody begins to kind of think about, wow, that could have been me.
If you go to turn on a light switch in Waubay, nothing's going to happen. It's the third night in a row that people have been without power. But I've talked to community members, and they say the way that people have come together to help each other is not only bringing a little bit of light into their lives, but also warming their hearts. Robert Griebel is one of many people who had no idea the power would be out this long.
I thought, well, maybe a day.
He may be sitting in the dark, but he isn't alone. That's the sound of the community coming together. Griebel's home is one of many that the mayor and other community members are hooking up to a generator.
It's not going to keep you comfortable all night long, but we'll get the temperature up in the house enough so to keep the pipes from freezing.
The group is going door to door, helping to make sure people stay safe and don't come out of the storm with property damage. One of the only lights in town is the glow of the American Legion sign, lit by the organization's generator.
We've been here 24/7 since we opened after the storm hit after, Monday morning.
Cold and, well, me and my husband kind of snuggle because we don't have no heat.
This is where people are keeping their spirits bright. People can find heat, running water, and food.
It's food that's coming up here, it's thawed. Mine's cooking instead of throwing it.
People can also spend the night.
For a while there we had 10, 15, even 20 back here.
From people at the Legion to Griebel at home, the community says they will be weathering this storm together. Live in Sioux Falls, Kelley Smith, KSFY News.
Kelly, I'd watch out for Carl. I'm just saying. Oh! We knew that was going to happen.
Live TV. Oh man.
Okay, Kelly's okay.
Woo. Woo.
Oh boy. I tell you what, Carl the cat will get you every time.
He's hungry, man.
There you go.